News Talk 820 WBAP and 93.3 FM, Chris Krok Show. Talking about this lady who was taken hostages, just freed, her and her daughters, and from Israel, taken hostage by the terrorist murderers and rapists, Hamas. And this woman, her name is Doron Katz Asher. So they kidnapped him, took him in there, and they put her with a family. I recall one of the hostages, I mentioned her name earlier, I can't remember it. She just was released a week or two ago. Beautiful young lady, very puffy lips. I don't know if they're just naturally like that. I can't remember her name, but she, Mia Shem, I think is it. That's it. And she said they put her with a family, just like that's what they did. They put them with all these terrorist-loving families. And she said that she does believe the guy, the father was going to, the husband father was going to rape her, as you would imagine, because that's what radical Islamists and Jew haters like Hamas think of women as cattle. Any Islamic nation treats women like cattle. So that's just how it is. And so she says the only reason why she thinks he didn't was because the family was right there. I'm grateful that she was not harmed in that way at all. Thank God. But this woman, no allegations on that as well, which is good. But she says psychological warfare. They didn't give us a lot of information, the terrorist family that housed her. They mainly tried to say that Hamas wants to release us, but in Israel, no one cares about us. That's laughable. That we don't return to live in the kibbutz because it's not our house. That's, of course, the rural village she was in. It's not the place where we belong. Okay, I should be like, okay, thank you. Oh, wow, thank you. Oh, that's so enlightening. That's where you sit there and you sit there and you go, oh, you don't say anything like you freaking bleepity bleep. She said she didn't believe them. And the sound of fighting outside of the building in Gaza was, quote, how we knew that something was going on in order to get us back home, to put pressure on Hamas to release us. That's the one thing I really wanted to mention to you. I want to repeat that again and just talk to you about that a little bit. But then also the other thing I wanted to talk about is how she was treated as she was leaving in just a second. But she said she did not believe these terrorists that were housing her, the family, and that the sound of fighting outside the building in Gaza was, quote, how we knew that something was going on in order to get us back home, to put pressure on Hamas to release us. This woman, what's really important for you to hear on this woman who's been on both sides of the coin now, she literally is saying, thank you, Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli war cabinet and the government for relentlessly destroying and killing these terrorists, which means thousands of people killed and literally, I'm not going to hide or sugarcoat this. An article in the Journal the other day or last week or sometime I read says the devastation that's been done to the Gaza Strip is never been seen before in warfare, modern day warfare, as far as the leveling of that area. And you know what? I could give a frog's fat you know what. I could give a you know what. You wanted this. You voted for it. Almost exactly half of you in a recent poll say you love you some Hamas. Enjoy it. There's Hamas. There's terrorism. There's radical Islamists. Nothing. You ain't got sewage. You ain't got a pot to pee in. You're starving. You wanted it. You got it. You ululated and love it when the Jews are raped and treated like it. You celebrate. So you know what? You enjoy. That's where you go. It's a preview of the hell you're going to. The hell. Now, and I know that, half the people may not support that, but I am not optimistic. I'll just leave it at that, okay? So no, I have no sympathy. I mean, I've seen some things that I have sympathy for. Don't get me wrong, but it's like no. This is what you get. That's your future. Behold, enjoy. Enjoy your bleep sandwich, your crap sandwich. Now, your crap sandwich. Now, she, after 16 days of being held by the terrorist family, she and her daughters were then taken from the apartments to what she described as a so-called hospital. So-called hospital in southern Gaza City, in the extreme terrorist stronghold of Khan Yunis. Khan Yunis is the last mega stronghold. There's still some serious fighting in the north. But this is Khan Yunis, is where Yahya Sinwar most definitely is, in one of the tunnels. He is there's two top ones they got to kill that are in Gaza, and Yahya Sinwar is somewhere in that area. And there's tremendous fighting. There are thousands of terrorists there from Hamas. This is where you're gonna have 2 or 3 months of just horrific warfare, and that's fine. So be it. The job has to be finished. Anyway, they took her to a so-called hospital in the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis. And they said, fake news CNN said, so why is it so called? She said, because a hospital is a place that is supposed to take care of people, but instead it was taken over by Hamas and they used it to hide hostages. There you go. I mean, this is like, there's no, in fact, let me say this. I do believe strongly that hospitals in Gaza are primarily meant to hide Hamas. And you can not like that. Doesn't matter. It's true. Because the people in charge do that. So they were taking a hospital, a fake hospital. She says that's where they had hostages. And she said that there were tons of families there with her, or a bunch of families with her, that were taken to that hospital in Khan Yunis, where they hid out like the terrorists do, with the hostages in the hospital. Then they were smuggled out of the hospital to a Hamas vehicle, she says. She didn't know where she was being taken. Look at this. No one told us that we were getting released. The drive, here you go, this is what I wanted you to hear also. There's 2 flashpoints. I gave you the first one a second ago. Here's the other one. The drive through the streets of Gaza was very, very frightening. The streets were lined with thousands of people, including children and the elderly, trying to hit the car and knock on its windows. She feared that she would be lynched. Why? You know why. Because they hate the Jews. They're terrorist lovers. Not everyone, but a heck of a lot of them. Elderly, young. That's satanic. That's evil. She's been violated in the worst ways you can think of, as far as what happened to her home and her country, taken as a hostage, and this is how they treat her. That literally is like you're going through hell in a car, a rail transport through hell, and the demons are at you. This is their general populace. See this? How could an elderly or a young kid treat this woman like that and her kids? Little subway through hell. This is the first time that one of her daughters said to me, after a month and a half of me protecting her, "Mommy, I'm scared." That's what I wanted you to hear. That's it. That's good enough for me. All right. That's why it gripped me. It did. So there you go. All right. Coming up next, I really do want to get into this one with you big time, because you have to tell me. Look, I'll tell you the country I was in a year or 2 years ago that is overrated. In fact, it made the list of the world's most overrated vacation destinations. And by the way, it could be in Texas, it could be in U.S., it can be in Mexico or any country or anything. What are the most overrated vacation destinations that you have discovered where you're like, okay, this sucks. This is not as good as we were told. we're not coming back here. That's coming up next. Right now, you can call in with it at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I will share mine. I want to hear about yours, so I can avoid them. Coming up next on News Talk 820 WBAP and 93.3 FM. All right, y'all. So what is the most overrated vacation you've had, where you were told it was great, it looked great, you were excited, and you went there, and it was okay, you know what I mean, or pretty good, and you liked it overall, but you're like, we're not going back. We had a good time, or maybe it was a disaster too, by the way. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. One of the countries mentioned in this article today in the Daily Mail on the world's most overrated vacation destinations is Jamaica. And I think they're right. I was there. Jamaica. I will tell you, we went to a 4-star resort on the beach, and, what do you call all-inclusive, but they sold, everything's nice, not moderate or whatever. It's really nice. It's like $700 a night. And look, it was very nice, the place, but a couple of things. The beach sucks. The beach at Jamaica sucks because you cannot walk in the beach in the sand, go in the ocean without your feet getting cut up by rocks that'll might as well be walking on knives. It is the most pathetic, angering thing because when I go to every year, our thing is, at least, it's partially affordability, going to the Caribbean for us. We want to go to Europe. We're going to, but we're not there yet as far as our finances and get everything in order that where we want to be first. But we will. And I've gone to Cancun twice to a nice resort like I'm talking about in Jamaica. I went to Jamaica, same kind of a place, nice place, really nice. But and Cancun was so good, we went again. It's a great place. But Cancun's beaches are beautiful, but they're also good. Like when you go in there, it's like, yes. Okay, it's what the brochure, what all the pictures show you. Now, Jamaica looks great, but like I said, the rocks. But here's the other thing too: the staff. There was in the place. The pictures are gorgeous. It is very trust me. When you're just lying at the beach there, it's perfection. Don't get me wrong, but that was part of it. We took a catamaran or something like that out, and it was wonderful. So don't hear what I'm not saying. There's a lot of good things about it, and it is gorgeous. But the people, a quarter of the people there serving us, maybe a little bit more, were wonderful, and the other quarter were okay, and then half of them maybe, I don't know. There was enough percentage to go, what? This place is not a happy place. And by saying that, I mean the people serving us, and I'm not some pig where, like a royalty, like, oh, come serve me, plebe, and mistreat folks at all. That's not who I am in any way, shape, or form. But as far as I like to realize I'm in their country and they're working a job that is sometimes an ungrateful job, if you will. And this is their country, and I want to put a smile on their face when they're serving me and stuff and make them laugh or whatever. But half of them or whatever were like ingrates and were jerks. I don't know, not jerks. They were like miserable, and their demeanor showed it. And maybe it wasn't half, maybe it was 30%, but it was enough to peeve me off. But here's the worst part of it. Ready? 2 of the guys, at least one, I think 2, hit on my wife. Like, I've never had that happen, and I'm sure you're like, well, dude, that happens. But like, no. Like, I leave the beach for, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, because she's laying there. And then some guy that works there is hitting on her. And she told me about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, which one is it? I'm going to go. And she's like, no. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude. So she told me to let it go. And I've learned to let it go when she says let it go. It wasn't bad enough to do anything. But I was like, what? I just wanted to, what do you see when you're the husband? You see red. Another thing happened is 2 different guys tried to sell us weed. And one of them said, do you smoke? As we were talking to the guy, we're laughing, everybody's having fun. And then he goes, do you smoke? And I'm like, no, I quit years ago. He's like, and I'm like, oh. And then after we're talking for a while, I'm like, realized the guy meant weed. And I'm like, dude, you work at a hotel, 4-star place on the, no. Even if I wanted it, which I don't, but even if I wanted it, I wouldn't buy it from you, dude. I mean, oh gosh. And that same guy asked me, Do you, I do excursions. You want to? I'm like, I ain't going in your car and getting raped and burgled or something off the plane. No. And do you know that's one of the most? It's a very unsafe country. If you go, there's portions. And here's what you got to do. My one of my people that I'm very close with in my family, if you will, was traveled internationally for government counterintelligence type things, and they're very clear to me every time. Like, hey, look at there's a website for the State Department, or through the each country, the embassy or whatever, but the State Department, and it tells you. For us, people like us, American citizens, and it says when you go here, these are the sections you do not want to go to, travel warnings, and how dangerous it is. And it also has a separate thing on the same little area there on the website for the embassy or whatever it is, the State Department. It says for government employees where they can and can't travel, and whether they can travel during the day and night. And let me tell you something, 3/4 of the island of Jamaica is no-go. No-go. Unless you want to have bad things happen to you, man, woman, or child. So that was my experience. The food's delicious. A lot of good people. I love their food. I love stuff. But no way. No thank you. Again, it was good, but no thank you. How about you? Most overrated vacation destinations revealed. Travelers detailed bleak truths about popular tourist hotspots from decaying Niagara Falls. Dude, Niagara Falls is decaying, according to some folks that have been there. And by the way, Dubai, UAE, Dubai apparently is some people deeming it deplorable. Dubai. Wow. Niagara Falls, New York, quote, not a nice place. The town itself, one other person says, is a dump, but the falls themselves are nothing short of spectacular. Well worth spending a half day there. Half day! People go there for their honeymoon, and it's like, ooh, okay, poor folks. Falls can be breathtaking, says one person. Another one says one night there on the Canadian side, and saw the falls, watched fireworks, spent $10 on the slot machine, and left. Dubai, materialistic. Niagara Falls, sad, decaying town. Walt Disney World, overpriced. I went last time. We'll talk some more about this. We'll talk about the most overrated vacation destinations. Your thoughts, where you've gone, and you're like, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Then we have a rabbis held up a sign at an NBA game where the Mavs play the Jazz in Utah, and one of our star players, the Mavs, got the sign taken down. Whoa, not cool. I'll tell you all about that, too. Coming up next, Chris Krok Show, News Talk 820 WBAP and 93.3 FM. So I saw Lenny Kravitz open for the Stones at least once when this song was making its rounds, and I like him. 2 albums that he did were real good, and then he kind of disappeared. But I got nothing negative to say about Lenny Kravitz. Okay, so just a few more rounds on this, the world's most overrated vacation destinations. Then we're going to get into rabbis holding up a sign that said, "I'm Jew and I'm proud," and Kyrie Irving of the Mavs got mad, and little baby boo-hoo got the NBA or the officials at the Utah Jazz Stadium in Utah, in Salt Lake City, to force the rabbis to take the sign down. I do have a lot to say about that coming up in just a minute. And then did you hear about these ladies fighting over these stupid pink Starbucks glass, coffee mugs? Fighting over it. No, it's just these women, these old hens, probably View watchers, fighting over a stupid mug. But first, okay, so Jamaica, they say sketchy. I agree. I was there. Los Angeles, touristy. Yeah, I've never been to California. I'm not against going, but I was not going to go. My wife's like, one year, she's like, well, let's go there. I'm like, I'm not going there. It was during the 3 or 4 years where they were having everybody wear a mask if you want to go on a beach. I'm like, I'm not going there. I'm not going to go there. And I would have to go somewhere. I mean, dude, if you go in any metropolitan area, you got to do a hit and run. You got to get in there in the middle of the day and get out. That's my. I'd be like, I ain't going there at night, man. I'm not going to get robbed or God knows what, beaten and then laughed at by the people in charge over the justice system, right? There's no justice. Egypt, aggressive street sellers. Dude, go to Mexico. Same thing. Santorini. Where's Santorini? Is that in Italy? I have no idea where's that. Where's that? I'm going to guess Italy. Overcrowded. Miami. All about appearances and money. No kidding. Disney World, I had to wait in line just to type this. Somebody said. Another says, Disney World, we took our kids and a buddy who worked for ESPN, which is a Disney company, who got Disney vouchers and discounts. Where? Greek? Oh, it's in Greek. Okay, I have a couple of really close, one particular really close Greek friend of mine, and he is all about Greece. His mom and dad are from Greece, and so I developed a passion for my Greek brother. And he, of course, was married in a Greek Orthodox church, of course. Anyway, Santorini's in Greece. Okay, I've not been, but my friend was there for his big trip and to go back to his parents' homeland, and it was amazing. The pictures where I wasn't there. We took our 5 kids. So this is for Disney, though. We took our 5 kids and a buddy who worked for ESPN, Disney company, got Disney vouchers and discounts, even with paying for his flight, hotel, and other expenses. They paid for it all, and we still saved over $1,000, and it was still expensive as bleep. There you go. No kidding. Okay. This from the Dallas Morning News. Yesterday, rabbis told to remove "I'm a Jew and I'm proud" signs after interaction with Kyrie Irving. Now, as you probably recall, Kyrie Irving was in the news when he was with the Brooklyn Nets in last year and a half ago or something like that, in 2022. He was suspended because he promoted a film filled with anti-Semitism and Holocaust conspiracy theories. And that's obviously disgusting. So with that, you have a rabbi who is a prominent Utah rabbi. Can I tell you something? As you know, I happen to be Baptist. Member of one of my sponsors is my church, First Baptist Dallas. I love my pastor, Dr. Robert Jeffress, and he comes on a lot. But my wife came from a Mormon family, and so I was Catholic. She was a Mormon when we met way back when. But she's got her mom and all of her family lineage from way back in the day. Half of them are from Utah, right? Shocker, right? Mormon, Utah, right? Anyway, we visited there, and as a Baptist, I've wondered too. It's gorgeous, right? But as a Baptist or a Christian, whatever you want, it's not about the denomination. It's about a relationship. But going to Salt Lake City, I'm like, this must be so hard to be, in a place that's probably 80% Mormon, and like you're the odd man out, or whatever. And when I saw there's a prominent Utah rabbi, I'm like, what? A prominent Utah rabbi? A rabbi in Utah to me would be like a Martian. Apparently not, right? Who knew, right? I don't know anything. All I know is this. My Mormon relatives, we stayed with them. They got a really nice house. They live in a far-flung suburb there, an exurb of SLC. It was gorgeous. We loved it. Love our relatives there. And we went out. He had one of those off-road, I've never even seen it, like a desert buggy. Street legal. License plates. Goes like 80 miles an hour if you wanted to. And we went through, he let me drive it in the hills and mountains. It was insane. They're free there. Great place. Anyway, Rabbi held up a sign, courtside interaction with, he had some kind of he described it as courtside interaction with Kyrie Irving on X, on Twitter. Kyrie saw the signs. At the 9:40 mark of the first quarter, he commented, "No need to bring that to a game." At the next timeout, he went to Mav security. Jazz officials came over and checked our tickets. We were told he put the signs away. Oh, did Kyrie not be able to handle that? All it was a sign from a rabbi that says, "I'm a Jew and I'm proud." How does he know it was directed at him? Maybe it was directed at the world to say, hey, I'm not afraid of the terrorists, etc. The rabbi told the SLC Tribune, some of the things that Kyrie said about Jewish community and Holocaust denial were vile and disgusting. And so there you go. But, by the way, the video he promoted on Twitter, Kyrie, was Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, 3-hour film Irving promoted last year, falsely claiming the murder of more than 6 million Jews by Nazis during the Holocaust didn't happen. It also claimed Jews are responsible for the transatlantic slave trade and called white Jews imposters. How disgusting. How disgusting. So anyway, if Kyrie Irving was a real man, he wouldn't be bothered by that. And in fact, what do you do when your people that oppose you are doing stuff? What did I do when that race hustler, what's his name? See, that's so funny, I don't even remember his name. Lee Merritt, who ran for Attorney General in the state of Texas and famously failed. Other than putting up some billboards he wasted his money with on highways around the Metroplex to show off. Anyways, he tried to get me fired for a long time and stuff like that, repeatedly, and make up stuff and do all. Anyways, he failed. And what do you do when you got somebody like that trying to take you out? You perform. You kick butt. You take names. I wear it as I like bragging that Lee Merritt tried to fire me repeatedly over a several-week period. It was beautiful. Come at me, bro. It was good. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. So I love it because I brag about it. So Kyrie Irving should be like, without saying to the rabbi, come on, baby, come on, and just perform and ignore the guy, right? Or brag about it, but in this case, what's there to brag about with that? That's embarrassing what he did, right? It's worse than embarrassing. It's reviling. But anyway, all right, I want to talk about... Oh, I'll throw out a question for you if you want to comment on the Utah Jazz thing with Kyrie Irving. Do you think it was wrong for the NBA to force the rabbis to take down their signs at the Mavs Jazz game that said, I'm a Jew and I'm proud? I do think it was wrong. As I just said, kick butt, show them who's boss by winning. We all have opposition. So I think it's embarrassing. Hey, how about the players that talk smack to him on the court, right? Man, I don't know how many. There's got to be some Jewish players in the NBA. And don't laugh when I say that. There's got to be some. There's a lot more amazing Jewish baseball players over the year, including, I think, Sammy Koufax was one, right? Anyways, so there's got to be some. And just taunt the guy, and he can't handle a rabbi? It's pathetic. Okay, did you hear about these hens fighting at Target over a pink mug, a Starbucks pink mug? It's bad, dude. Apparently there's some fist thrown and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that next on the Chris Krok program on News Talk 820 WBAP and 93.3 FM. All right, y'all. Starbucks limited edition pink Stanley Cup. Now, it's kind of disturbing to say pink Stanley Cup as in like the NHL. It's not. It's a Stanley Cup as in the company Stanley. I think I had one of these a long time ago, and it was really nice, and it was expensive. And something happened where, what's interesting? It's heavy, too. It's like a steel or something. And in between the outside steel and the inside, there's some space. And what happened was somehow the seal or something got broke, and it was like some powdery black stuff in there. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. I remember that. And I think I had one of these types. And they're not cheap. 30, 40, 50 bucks. I think I had one. You know what it was? It actually said Nissan on it. But it was like not the car company, like some promotion. But it said like Nissan as in like steel or something. I have no idea. It was one of these. I think I went through two of them, actually. Now that I'm remembering it. Yeah, I went through like two of them. They would hold the coffee warm for like 3 hours. Maybe even 4. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I think I had a Stanley one before that, being a massive junkie of coffee. So it's a $50 cup. It's pink, and it's called the Stanley Quencher. It is an insulated tumbler, as I mentioned. See, hit on social media, and it's a Starbucks Target thing. So they're selling for as much as $300 on eBay. So these hens are going over and punching each other or grabbing it, And I heard something today on Fox where you had a woman saying at the store saying, hey, there's only a limit 2 per person. And they were remarking on Fox News that there's only one guy in the whole crowd of idiots. And somebody else commented on Fox saying, look, you could steal, go to California and you can steal up to 950 of them. It's a misdemeanor. And then sell them for, you can steal, I think they said you can steal 19 of them to be under the limit, and then sell them for 200 each online. Actually, it'd be 300 each online. Make a lot of money. That's why you see people doing things like that in California. Anyway, they are going nuts. They're here. One man jumped over a Starbucks counter to steal the special Stanley Cups. The limited edition Starbucks Stanley Pink Cup was released Wednesday. They're one of the most popular bottles in the world now, and as I mentioned, almost $300 on eBay. They're now selling on third-party site for as much as $300. Some users listing them for $550. Let me tell you something. My wife is an expert at buying and selling stuff locally and online and nationally and internationally. And it's a fun. What I love is what's funny. She likes showing me these idiots online. They're like, look at this idiot. They're asking this for this, and look at how stupid this is. Nobody wants this, and no one's going to buy it. Or she'll show me how somebody typed up something in the description, and it's like they're complete morons. Or a picture that's like the incompetency and the idiocy on display on some of these posts is really funny, because she does research before she posts something, and she's not going to post it for too much, and she also doesn't want to post it for too little. She does real high end stuff, and she's got some pillows that are apparently $250 or $350 for one pillow, outdoor pillows or something like that. It's like, who would have thunk it? And she's like, when she posts something and she gets 50, tons of views, 50 likes, and 50 people following it, she's like, oh crap. Her first reaction is, I underpriced it. So it's interesting to watch that. But no, I'm not doing this. No, this is a problem. What's wrong with people? Epstein documents released today. 5 revelations, Fox News says, from the lawsuit. Bill Clinton likes him young. We mentioned that earlier. One of the sex trafficked poor young ladies at the time, who's now a woman who was raped, statutory rape and sex trafficked, said that she was told by Epstein directly that Bill Clinton likes him young. There was Epstein told Ghislaine Maxwell on a text that we're offering money to disprove the allegations against me. David Copperfield was mentioned in this. He did some magic tricks. He asked one of the girls. One of the girls says that he allegedly asked her if she knew girls were getting paid to find other girls for the sex trafficker. I mean, he didn't elaborate. That's crazy. He also got in trouble. Previously, he was once accused of sexually assaulting of a teen model as a friend of. Copperfield was himself once accused, Fox News says, of sexually assaulting a teen model. So not looking good there, brother. Oh my gosh! Did you know that Stephen Hawking? He died, right? Didn't he? Yeah, Stephen Hawking was supposedly involved in one of these sexcapades with these girls. I think Fox, when I heard it today, said something about a teen. These girls are being sex trafficked and raped because they're too young to consent, like an orgy of some kind. I'm like, oh my God. Prince Andrew was involved in that, reportedly, according to this. But that's insane. But Stephen Hawking, dude, I thought he couldn't do stuff like that, but I guess he could. And disgusting. Tom Pritzker. This one I didn't mention last night until it's because I didn't want to. But the Pritzker family are wealthy, leftist, hardcore leftist, rich, super rich, billionaire Democrats. The Pritzker is the governor of Illinois, and he is terrible. From everything I hear from my family, lives there. And his brother, apparently, Tom Pritzker, is accused of by these girls in these documents of having sex. One of the questions was asked in these depositions, all right, to one of the sex trafficked girls, if I were to ask you a question about how many times you had sex with Tom Pritzker, do you know what that question means? I believe so. All right, what is the answer to that? I believe it was once with Tom, she said. So he's in big trouble. He is the prominent member of the Pritzker clan, ninth richest family in 2020, according to Forbes, net worth of $32.5 billion. And apparently Tom Pritzker is the head of Hyatt, a hotel chain. He's the chairman of Hyatt Hotels. So I wonder if he will be gone. His brother is his cousin is the Illinois Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker, and then his and Harvard Corporation senior fellow Penny Pritzker was the Commerce Secretary for the Hussein Obama administration. She's also a cousin, apparently. So this is just there you go, rich folks doing God knows what.